Who am I that the highest king would welcome me? I was lost, but he brought me in. Oh, his love for me. Oh, his love for me. Who the sun sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. Free at last, he has ransomed me.
Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. As Ray mentioned, we're going to interview Julie Kim, who is, yay!
Yay!
She heads up our welcoming committee on site, right?
Yes.
And so we're going to just ask her a few questions about herself and about the welcoming committee and how the process works. We'll get an overview about the process for coming on site. And so, anyways, so Julie,
Yeah.
tell us about yourself.
Okay. So what? I was born in Daly City. I lived in South San Francisco until I was 8, and then we moved to Sacramento, and then we were in Sacramento till forever, right? Like I went to high school there, went to college there. Um, it says Minton. And so then, and then um, yeah, and then I got married, and um, we moved to Nashville for a little bit, and then we moved here for work because Osan got a job here, and so that's how we ended up here. We've been in the area, in the Bay Area, for about 5 years, and yeah, that's kind of me. I'm obviously I'm married to Osan for about almost 16 years. Come May, we have 3 kids, 3 boys: Noah, who's 13; Ben, who's 11; and Sam, who is 9.
And outside the church, what are the things that you enjoy doing? Like what you're doing right now or want to pursue?
Okay. So I work in a 5th grade classroom as a classroom aide right now, and I've been at the school, the kids' elementary school, for almost 4.5 years. It just kind of landed in my lap, and it's
That's
great
wonderful.
a great job for me. I work very little, and I get to be at the school with the kids. Like as my
That's
kids
great.
are
The same school. Okay.
at the same school, and so
Great.
that's what I do now. I used to teach like in a classroom, but that was way before like I had Noah and stuff like that. And so then, um, and so then what am I pursuing? I'm not. I mean, right now it's just in the middle of being a mom of 3 boys,
Super busy.
just trying to raise decent people, I guess. But so that's just what I do now.
So is it an 8 at school right now? Do you have to go on site or do you stay home and do everything from home?
Yeah, so right now, luckily, the teacher that I work with, she is distance learning or teaching, distance teaching. So I Zoom from home.
Oh, great.
And I mean, again, it's really small hours, and so it works great for me. I can. All 3 of my kids are distance learning right now, also.
Yeah.
And so it's convenient in the sense that we're all home. If Sam had to go into school, then I would have to go in also.
Oh wow! So juggling, helping out class, and on top of trying to manage the 3 kids. It's like, wow, that's crazy. Any hobbies you enjoy outside of teaching? I know you're a fabulous teacher, by the way.
Hobbies, so I don't really have any. I can't think of well, so what I really enjoy doing, so it's kind of weird, but I really like having people over at my house pre-COVID, right?
Yeah,
so
right, right.
before this whole shutdown thing happened, like I really liked having people over and just like hanging out. But my real joy was doing like prepping like little activities or little arts and crafts for the kids that came to my house, and it was all like seasonal, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, whether you do like a pumpkin patch party or like a Christmas or something, and so that was really fun for me. And on top of like again, it's not like a hobby because it's always just happens. But I like watching the kids as they're doing their crafts and stuff. Like if you listen to their conversation and like what they talk about, it's hilarious. Like what you can learn from these kids, like how they are, their personalities.
Right.
I mean, just as they're like doing their little arts and craft things.
Right.
That's. I mean, it's fun for me. It's and thankfully, when people do come over, like I have. Ulsan, he used to be a sushi chef for 15 years.
Really?
Yeah, and so he cooks for my my events, and so I don't have to really worry about that. So that I mean, it makes it fun, He kind of takes care of that, and I just take care of the fun stuff.
The creative, like
because the food is really stressful for me. I would not be able to. I just
tell me
cook
about
to
it.
feed.
Tell me about it.
Cook so the kids don't die. But he really enjoys that.
Oh, that's great.
He really enjoys
great.
all that stuff, and so it it works.
Yeah.
So that I'm very thankful.
Oh, wonderful. Well, it goes along with your teaching skills. So I mean, like, whatever your passion is, right? That's really wonderful. So, how long have you been with NCBC again?
So we came here January of 2016. So it would be just 5 years.
The 5 years you've been in the Bay Area.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I know. It was funny because we had moved here like right before Christmas of 2015, and then came. Anyway, so I Googled like Korean churches in the area, and I guess at the time there was no like website or anything, so I don't know how we ended up getting here, but we ended up getting here, and it was so funny because my mom had helped us move, and so she came also, and we're just hanging out, like going to service, and I dropped the kids off at Joyland and Faithland at the time, and we come into the English ministry service, and we look up on the stage, and I've told some this story before, but we look up on the stage and I see Dan Jung, and I grew up with Dan Jung.
Oh,
like he used to live in Sacramento, and that type of thing. So it was interesting because it's a friendly face, again I haven't seen for years, but still. A familiar face made it a little bit easier. And then the kids really loved their service, and so we just never left.
You were hooked.
We just never left. Yeah. So 5 years. Yeah. I know.
Just like us.
I know.
Well, that's wonderful. So you're part of multiple ministries, actually, right? Or is it? Other than on-site welcoming, you participate in other things like the children's choir and such.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit more about other ministries?
Yeah. So, children's choir, which is amazing. Like, I just again one day heard that the church had a children's choir. Went to go check out a performance that they had, and ever since then it was. Like the kids really enjoyed it, and so we just every year would just stick them in. And then I was asked by the director if I would join to help out because I think it was because I was there. And my kid, all three of my kids are in it and stuff and stuff. It's just since you're here anyway,
you might as well.
But it is so amazing how much these kids can do. I mean,
absolutely.
They are. It's such a blessing. I mean, they really do. They're so great. I'm like at a loss of words. I miss them because I haven't seen them
They're
since
amazing.
COVID.
Yeah,
But
right.
they are truly, I mean, just the heart, and the team is amazing. The
Right.
adults, and Joanna, who's our
Right.
pianist.
Joanna.
You know, we all just really
Mhm.
have the same heart. I feel we're all
Yeah.
like aligned in that way. So
Right.
like it just works so easily.
Mhm.
We have before COVID, we had about 60 kids in the CM choir, the children's
Mhm.
choir, and about 30 youth choir kids as well.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it was, I mean,
Yeah.
it was a good group. It was
Yeah.
big. It was chaos, you
Right,
know,
right.
like especially as we're learning the songs, as we're learning the motions.
Right,
I mean,
right.
it's a lot. And then you got wardrobe, and you know, and then you got the performance day, and that's just, you know,
Coordinating all of
yeah.
that, yeah, it's super amazing. So between you and Joanna, like
I know.
putting and Sylvie putting them together, it's just amazing
it
what you guys
is.
do.
Oh, it's amazing, and it's so great to see like the kids just pray, like they're just worshiping God, right? I mean, it's like another form of worship, and I don't know. Sometimes some of the kids are there because their parents make them, you know, but they still are so great, and it's you know, and you know, again, it's like you're learning about Jesus. So
Yeah,
it's like,
right. Now, how about on the welcoming team? Like, tell me a little bit about that.
yeah. So the welcoming team is Jeanette, Dooley, and I,
Mhm.
and we. It's funny because it's it it seemed like it was a lot easier when we were all at church together,
Yeah.
right? Like we can all mingle, and we can all, you know, do what we do as, you know, welcome like greeters
Yeah.
and, you know, things like that. As far as like now for on site and stuff, there's a lot of like regulations that we have to follow, and, you know, things like that, which kind of make it really hard.
Yeah.
But you know, we do the best we can, and you know, we have a lot of great feedback from, you know, others and things like that, and so it works. You know?
Yeah. Can you overview the process a little bit for us?
Sure, yeah. So if you do decide to come to our on-site welcome or on-site worship service, we ask that you register ahead of time. Registration's open from Monday to Saturday, and you register, and then we all, Jeanette, myself, and I believe Joanna, we get an email confirmation saying who's coming, and so then I kind of have an idea before Sunday morning of who's coming, and I can figure out the seating and things like that. Sunday morning, we have people parking in the parking lot next door at the social service building, I believe it's called. And we do request that you come a little bit earlier than 9:30, so we're not rushing, because once the service starts, we have to stop kind of seating until after the praise, just to limit distractions and things like that of the worship. But yeah, so then once you come, you get your temperature checked, and you go and get seated, whether it's Julie seating you or Jeanette that seats you, and then and then you have a time of worship, and it's really it's so different than doing it online. I mean, I feel like
absolutely.
I feel like once you come, you can't. It's really hard to go back.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I had that feeling actually. This is my first time back on site, and it's that feeling of I don't know if I want to go back home and do this at all.
Yeah.
So to be honest, I might drag my husband in.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, no, I get that feeling truly. Now, what do you feel like is your biggest calling? Like, why welcoming ministry? Why children's ministry? Why do these specific ministries call to you? What is God calling? What do you think that's?
So, yeah. So for as far as like children's, for me, like children's ministry was like ever since I was young, I loved children. I loved everything about it. You know, it was kind of like a natural, you know, thing where I don't have to really think about, and I love it, right? Welcoming, I as far as welcoming goes, like I feel like the ministry itself, and for myself, um, it's so we as a welcoming team, we're our mission, like as a living mission, is to create the space, right? Create like a comfortable space for like a little or no distractions, so people can encounter Jesus. Right? And so, in that, like I feel that I can do like it kind of like landed, like it was kind of like, okay, there's a need, and then it was okay, well, and I struggled with it for a little bit. I really did need to seek out counsel like, from PA. Like, is this real? Like, why am I doing this? I'm so bad at it, and but I really do feel it's. I don't know. I mean, how can I explain it? Like it's like God. God has. I want to say that I know that God's gifted me, and just the heart of like the hospitality.
Yeah, right.
And so I want to use that gift that God's given me in serving, and I think for welcoming, especially if I'm able to create the space and God will do the rest. I mean, what more? What more is there? I mean, I feel, and again, I for myself, and I struggle with it. I don't feel like I'm the best, or like at it, like I'm not like I'm all qualified. I don't know what I'm doing half the time or most of the time. But if I just kind of let it go and let God do,
and let God do His work, through
then,
you,
right, then that's all it is,
right,
it's for one person, then it's for one person.
And I can certainly see that. I mean, it's nothing is perfect, right? But for us, like when we came in and you welcomed us here to church, right? Like that feeling of family, that feeling of like welcoming, it's such a big impression on in a church. So it keeps people wanting to come back and come back. So you're doing a fabulous job. So between the three of you, you're doing a fabulous job. So I'm not seeing any flaws. All thanks to God, right?
Yeah,
so
totally. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Now here's some fun questions for you. They're more fun.
Okay. More fun than
First one is related to NCBC.
Oh, okay.
But what's your favorite NCBC event? It could be pre-COVID.
Okay. So my favorite event, only because it's I'm in it, is the Christmas program. The children's Christmas program is definitely my favorite.
Fabulous.
It's so much fun. It's the semester of preparing, right? Like we start off in the fall and we prepare all the way up until Christmas, our Christmas performance, which usually is like the week before. But those months of like hard work and prep and just emails and parents and staff and children. But then when that performance day comes, and again, up until the moment it starts, we're just running. Like, we're like running around and just trying to figure out everything. And there's
super busy.
Always so much stuff going on. And of course, everything that can go wrong usually does go wrong. And so we're trying to figure out costumes and backdrops, and and I do have a lot of great people that work together with to make it all happen. But then when those kids get up there on that stage, I mean, geez, it is, from the minute that, those kids are up there to the 35 minutes and it's over, or whatever it is a glorious event.
Yes,
I mean, for the parents that are watching their own children, for the kids that are up there, for the staff that has been working with them, and the guests that come to watch the friends. And I love that the kids invite their friends, from school or anywhere, which is such a great, thing for them to do as well.
Right.
So,
Oh,
anyway, that's
yeah,
my favorite.
no, I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. I mean, totally biased too.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And I know you're a super mom.
Oh,
You may not
no,
think
no,
so,
no.
but I think you're a super mom. I mean, 3 kids, working, like, serving at church, everything. Can you share with us any tips or hacks that you might have, no matter how simple, that can help the rest of us suffering souls over here?
No, I'm suffering just along with you. We're all together the same. Yeah, like I think for me, the biggest advice that I had gotten previous from older, well-seasoned parents is that, and I think for myself it really worked because not that my house is clean, but they always say like it's gonna be there whether you do it now or later. So it's okay to wait until later and go play with your kids, And for me, I really feel this COVID time, which is so crazy, and we're all stuck together in our small little home, but it's really given us the time to like play with each other, and like really gave us extra time because otherwise, like Noah's in 8th grade. And so once he hits high school, I feel like they're going to be, I mean, again, before COVID, but there would be out of the house, they'd have after school activities and things like that, but almost like God's given us extra time just to like, we're together in the home. I know what they're doing for school and, not that like I micromanage, but it's just
nice.
we just have that extra
Yeah,
time. We're not driving around like for an hour after school trying to pick everyone up and then drop them off at whatever and then pick them back up.
Yeah, it is a blessing in its own way, for sure.
So that was the one thing that someone had once said to me, like, it's okay if your laundry is all over the floor. It will still be there. go play with your children.
Right.
Yeah, because time is short. They do grow up super fast.
It is true. And within all that busy world, right? Even right now, when you have more time to do all that, you still need time for yourself. So, do you have one thing that you enjoy doing that picks you up at the end of a hard day?
Yeah, so it's funny because so I actually start out my day really early. So, like really early.
Like what time we talking about?
like 5 o'clock early.
Oh, you're like my husband. Oh my goodness.
Okay. So I'll wake up and I'll, take that time. The quiet home. It's super quiet in my house at 5 a.m. because everyone's asleep. And I'll have my cup of coffee or whatever, and that's my time, right? And I'll take that time. And I mean, selfishly, I will take that time because I think I need that in order to get through the day. And if I have a rough day, usually I just go to bed early. Like it's like we're just shutting it down early. Yeah, I'll go to bed. But that time in the morning, really for me, is I think I need it. A lot more. And yes, it's early, but I would do that. And it's and I feel like too it really grounds me in the sense that whatever is thrown at me, because like I'll wake up and I'll do my devotions and I have my time and that type of thing. So it's just kind of grounding and that, and and then that kind of sets the mood for the rest of the day. So it's
Good point. Yeah. Well, it was wonderful. It's great to catch up with you and good to see you in person. And
it's
like I get to see Julie.
I know.
In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I